I'm never going to live down the first day I talked about the iPhone, and that was the day it was released. I said it was just another device and nothing to get excited about, only to later get one for my birthday and reluctantly accept it as one of the best devices I've ever owned. Well, now we're on the eve of iPhone 3G, which is the second version of the iPhone hardware. iPhone 2.0, the operating system, is going to be available not only for iPhone 3G, the hardware, but also for current iPhones, that is, the original iPhones. And Apple's making that update free as long as you have the iPhone. If you have the iPod Touch, you could get the next version of the operating system for, I think, $10, which is probably worth it. Because in iPhone 2.0, the operating system, Apple is going to enable you to download applications, whether they're free or if they cost money, from the App Store. They've also added a few other features to the operating system. And I don't know if many of the new features are revolutionary so much as they are evolutionary. Now, the new hardware, iPhone 3G, is going to be capable of speeds so much faster than Edge. I mean, that's the whole 3G thing. Is it going to be blinding fast? Probably not. I wouldn't expect it. Is it going to be faster than the current iPhone? Most certainly, at least in terms of internet access. Probably one of the more welcomed new features of the iPhone hardware is the GPS integration. So if you're considering getting an iPhone, well, I think you're going to have to wait now, since we're about a month away. July 11th is the day that they will go on sale. And they will go on sale for a price of $200 for the 8 gig iPhone 3G, or I believe $299 for the 16 gig version. So much more affordable than the first line of iPhones, certainly the first release of the iPhone. Now here's what you have to keep in mind, and bloggers out there have already mentioned this. It's worth noting. The new iPhone will cost $200 right up front, but the service plan for 3G is going to vary. If you're just a regular old home user, it's going to be $30 for the 3G connection versus $20 for the current iPhone's connection. So it's $10 more than it was now. And then if you're a business user, then it's going to be $45 a month. So are you saving that much money just because the hardware is a little less expensive? I guess up front, yes, but over time, not so much. Still, that's not a reason to avoid the iPhone. It is a smart device. I have owned Palm PDAs in the past. I've owned Pocket PCs and spent more than I spent for the first iPhone that I had. Or I guess Ponzi spent for me since she got it for me as a birthday present last year. So I've definitely spent more and gotten less. It's going to be very interesting to see what developers are going to be working on within the App Store. Apple has said that they can release their apps for free, so don't expect that every application inside the App Store is going to cost you money. The nice thing about the App Store is that it's clean, it's organized, updates will be pushed back to you. It's really, I think, a smart way to evolve iPhone as a platform. Apple also announced something that many people may not realize. It's coming in September, so it's going to come after the release of iPhone 3G, but a way for applications that are on the iPhone to kind of run background processes in the cloud, or on a remote service that Apple is going to be setting up again in the September timeframe. And instead of a background process on a phone sucking up battery and CPU, that, process will be offloaded to a remote server and then call the iPhone when it's time to catch up. So, for instance, an instant messaging application would work if it was running in the background. Well, if it's running in the background, then you're wasting CPU, you're wasting battery. The idea would be to have that instant messaging application call this remote service that Apple's setting up within the next version of the iPhone operating system. And in doing this, I think it's very intelligent for Apple to go that route. Again, battery and CPU is what this is all about. So the price is lower, speeds are faster, features are wider than I think. I think a lot of people would have anticipated, and that isn't even including the support for exchange services, which may not interest you so much, but it's important for corporations and enterprise. Where do you work? You may use an exchange server that allows you to have push contacts, calendar, email, and that would be whatever you have on your phone is the same thing you have on your desktop. And Apple's new version of the iPhone operating system is going to support that right out of the box. And that's a big deal. I use Exchange as well. The new iPhone 3G, is something that I'm probably going to stand in line for. I can't believe I just admitted that, considering that I made fun of everybody who did that the first time around. Yeah. Well, yeah, live and learn. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really, really interested. I know that the iPhone 3G had a lot of hype surrounding it. I think a lot of disappointment is because of that. People were expecting it to have another camera and video recording capabilities, but Steve Jobs and the whole crew at Apple didn't really announce anything like that today. Well, they certainly didn't announce any extra video features than what was already in place. But those were the rumors that were circulating. Just goes to show you, don't listen to rumors. But, from my estimation, this will be a no-brainer decision for me. Faster speed, more functionality, I'm down. And so definitely stay tuned, and I'll certainly be doing unboxing and sharing iPhone tips and tricks as I have in the past. What I'm interested in hearing from you about at this point is, do you have an iPhone right now? And if you don't, had you considered getting an iPhone? And are you considering getting an iPhone 3G? If so, why? And if not, why not? I mean, if you've already got a PDA, you've already got an iPod, and maybe you're already on AT&T's network, or maybe you live somewhere in another country that is now going to have access to the iPhone's features. Let me know what you think. Are you going to be waiting in line, or are you just going to wait for a week or two? You don't need to have the latest and greatest necessarily. I mean, as Apple said, the current versions of the iPhone will work just fine, and they're going to give you the operating system update, which is going to give you access to the App Store, but you're not going to get a GPS because that's, hardware based. And you're not going to get 3G speeds because that, again, is hardware based. You'd need to upgrade to iPhone 3G. And it'll be interesting to see what happens here over the coming months, especially over the next month, as we wait for iPhone 3G or iPhone 2.0. My email address is chris@perillo.com. I am very interested in hearing your thoughts on the iPhone. I posted 10 weather iPhone app ideas that I had the other day in my blog at chris.perillo.com, and I was re-streaming, the community's thoughts of the WWDC keynote today, and I'm always streaming my video live, and people are somewhat interested in the things that I'm doing, although sometimes I may get caught up in my own hardware problems, as I was doing most of this evening. Had nothing to do with the iPhone, though. Thank goodness. Anyway, you're welcome to join us in the chat room. We've got a whole bunch of geeks hanging out, talking about just about everything, including the iPhone, pretty much 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, at live.perillo.com. We'll see you later.